So you're thinking about moving to Charlotte in 2025 or later? That's exciting. But before you start packing or hopping on Zillow, let's have a quick chat. Because while Charlotte is an incredible city, there are few things most people don't find out until it's too late. I'm here to give you the full picture of what it's really like to live here, from housing and neighborhood, lifestyle, traffic, and more. So if you're planning a move or just dreaming of one, make sure you subscribe. And when the time comes, reach out to me directly. I'm a real estate agent here. My information is on the screen and pinned in the comments. I'd love to help you make Charlotte home, so let's dive in. So out of all the cities in the Southeast, why are so many people choosing Charlotte? Well, for starters, this city is no longer just a banking town. Yes, Bank of America and Wells Fargo are still here. They're not going anywhere. They are definitely staples of the community. But now we're also seeing tech startups, healthcare giants like Atrium, and major employers like Honeywell, Nucor, and Lowe's bringing new life to the job market. And speaking of tech, we have a company called Passport Labs, whose ecosystem has spawned 13 startups. One thing I and my friends like about the business vibe in Charlotte is it's more casual versus uptight. And even the banking jobs don't require a suit daily. Good slacks and a nice shirt will be the norm. Many of my friends who travel back to New York and Chicago for work and conferences complain about having to get their suits ready. The growth here is real. Charlotte consistently ranks in the top 5 for inbound migration nationwide. And you know what that means? Opportunity. Whether you're launching a career or relocating with a family, there's space to grow, build, and thrive here. That momentum is one of the biggest reasons why I chose to come back home to Charlotte after 17 years on the West Coast. There's a wave of growth happening here, and we're nowhere near the crest. Rediscovering this city over the past few years has been exciting, and watching it evolve into a world-class city makes me even more proud to call it home. Leave me a comment and tell me why Charlotte is on your list. And speaking of growth, you might be wondering, is Charlotte still affordable? That's a great question. Let's talk cost of living. Is Charlotte still a steal? Kind of, but compared to cities like New York, DC, San Diego, where I moved from, or even Atlanta, Charlotte still feels affordable, and getting around and learning the city is very manageable. But don't let that southern charm fool. Costs have gone up. The average rent in Charlotte is now hovering around $14.87 for a one-bedroom, which is 5% less for the national average, and it's probably the last year I get to say that. And home prices are creeping up also. We're expected to gain another 3 to 5% this year, with hot neighborhoods easily exceeding that growth. But here's the good news. Groceries, gas, and services are still below the national average, and you'll enjoy a low flat state income tax of just 4.25% for tax year 2025, and we're lowering taxes in tax year 2026. It drops to 3.99% and could go down from there as long as there's money in the general fund. It's not dirt cheap, but for the lifestyle you're getting, it's still one of the best values in the Southeast, if not the country. And that brings us to one big thing, the 2025 housing market. Should you buy now? Should you wait? Oh my God, the headlines are crazy. What's really happening? So let's get into it. Charlotte's housing market is finally catching its breath after the chaos of the last few years. As of 2025, our median home price is around $425,000. And that's right at the national average and way below places like Austin or Miami or anywhere on the West Coast. The market is stable and competition has cooled and inventory is improving, but there's still not a ton of homes to choose from. That means you might not have to waive contingencies like in 2021, and I'll beg you not to. It's just not necessary right now. But hot homes in hot areas could still have multiple offers, but not the craziness we've seen in the past. But don't hold out for a crash. Charlotte demand isn't going anywhere. There are 117 people moving here, every day. Next up, a question I get asked often and see posted in online groups is, where should you actually live? Whether you are a young professional, a family of four, are you solo, or a retiree? I've got you covered. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down by lifestyles. For my young professionals out there, you should check out places like South End, Noda, and Uptown. These are all walkable, vibrant, and are loaded with restaurants, breweries, and rooftop bars. My families love Valentine, Huntersville, the TKK Fort Mill area, and Waxhaw. These areas are popular because they've got amazing schools, crime is almost non-existent, amazing parks, and a suburban feel. If you want character and affordability, explore Shamrock, which is where I'm standing now, East Charlotte, and Steel Creek. These areas have charm, space, and solid access to the city. And I actually grew up right here in Shamrock, and some of my best friends used to live right here in these houses, and I grew up just up the street. So you've got a lot of value here and easy access to everything Charlotte offers. My retirees have gravitated towards the lakes or an area close to where their kids and grandchildren are within the city. There are some phenomenal 55 plus communities in the region. If you're looking for up and coming neighborhood you could invest in and grow with, then an area called the West End could be a great option. There's truly something for everyone. Your budget and needs and desires will very often dictate where you'll buy. But even if you find the perfect neighborhood, the next big question is this: should I rent or should I buy in 2025? I beg you, reach out to me early in your process so we can get you dialed in and make sure Charlotte is the right place for you. I get it, we're not everyone's cup of tea. Here's the deal. You should buy if you're staying long term, minimum 3 to 5 years, because you want to build equity, which is the true power of home ownership, and we make sure you fully understand the financial impact of buying a home. You need to rent if you're only here for 2 to 3 years. There are strategies to buy real estate even though you are here only a short while, but those are not a one-size-fits-all and are very specific and still have some risk. A lot of people move here thinking they'll buy right away, but I've helped dozens of families who started with a rental so they could get their bearings. There's no shame in exploring first. I would recommend getting pre-approved to see where you are. And if you're on the bubble of that price point you really want to be in, then waiting could cost you the ability to afford those areas as prices increase. I highly recommend making a few trips to the area and just exploring. Try to have a few days that are weekdays in that trip if possible, because as you know, things look and feel different on Saturday versus Monday and Wednesday. And while we're talking about lifestyle choices, let's talk about something people don't research enough before moving, and that's the weather. And if you're curious where I'm filming at right now, I'm in a little neighborhood called Mary Oaks. It's a East Charlotte staple, and this area also has a ton of value and is kind of going through its own glow up. As you see the new builds here behind me, and there's a load of flips happening here through the neighborhood where investors and awesome families are coming in and making what was an old house a beautiful fixed house. But let's get into weather, because it's stuff you need to know. People love to say Charlotte has perfect weather, and it's mostly true. Winters are mild and snow is a luxury. Fall is gorgeous. Think Bob Ross painting. Spring is incredible. But summer, woo, oh boy, it's not just hot, it's humid. Think sticky shirts and pop-up and very powerful thunderstorms and AC on blast 24/7. I can hear the hum of them now. For me, I love summertime. Late nights, beautiful sunsets, night swims in the pool, sitting on the porch and truly feeling the power of a southern thunderstorm. And relaxing on the boat, having a cold one, eating a homemade ham and cheese sandwich, making memories with our daughter she will never forget. Truly, nothing beats it. You'll get used to the humidity, maybe, but it's something to prepare for. It will smack you in the face as soon as you step outside from the airport and walk through those double doors, and it just hits. Expect it. are coming from the west coast. And while hurricanes aren't a major threat inland, heavy rains and wind can still disrupt things here. So be very wary of anything in a floodplain. The question is not if, but when. So don't say, I didn't warn you. You don't need snow boots or a snow blower. Nope, if it snows, stay home. It'll be gone tomorrow by lunch, if not sooner. But a rain jacket and a good leaf blower and a solid fan, and you're set. In the transitions from season to season, be ready for bipolar weather. In March, it could be 85 on Monday. On Wednesday, it could be 30 with a possibility of snow. And then back to 65 and sunny for the weekend. And some days you'll get all 4 seasons in one day. So we dress in layers and peel them off and put them on as the day goes on. I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, what is your favorite season and your favorite seasonal activity? Next up, let's talk about how you're going to get around town, because Charlotte's transportation setup is still, we will call it evolved, like small houses are charmed. Charlotte is still very much a driving city. If you're coming from New York or Chicago or anywhere in Europe where public transit rules, this will feel like a culture shock. Most people own a car here, and you'll want one too, unless you live and work right along the light rail. If you're scared of driving or have family moving with who is, this might be really something to think about. Your top traffic trouble spots, really like anywhere else, all roads lead to stop at rush hour, but here's your major ones. I-77 headed north or south out of uptown. 77 through Huntersville can be snow crushing. I-85 during rush hour is horrible. At some point this century, they'll finish construction on it and it'll work as they intended. I-85, as you get into Gaston County, just over the river. The linked light rail is expanding and bike lanes are increasing, but for now, expect to drive. So if avoiding long commute is a priority, you'll want to choose your neighborhood wisely. And speaking of neighborhoods, before y'all fall in love with one, is to check if you've got a stoplight to turn in and out of your community coming off major roads, because playing chicken every time you want to leave your house is no fun. Now, let's shake off the commute talk a little bit and get into the fun stuff, because Charlotte really does know how to live. The food scene is on fire. Yes, we've got more than barbecue. Charlotte's food scene is having a moment. We're talking everything from fine dining at Supperland or the Fig Tree to hidden gems like Lang Van for comfort food, Vietnamese, or the House of Pizza over on Central, where I've been getting Philly cheesesteaks for the last 35 years. I just had one today for lunch. And you've got Optimist Hall for food hall vibe, plus trendy eats in South End and Noda. If you're into cocktails or beer, the rooftop views from Merchant and Trade or Cloud Bar are unreal. And speaking of the Optimist Hall, food hall has actually been ranked in the top 10 and could be in the running to be #1 in the country. Drop down in the comments, tell me what you like to go see, what a city has, and what you enjoy tasting around the country, or what you're looking forward to coming down. Charlotte is low-key a sports town. Catch the Carolina Panthers uptown at Bank of America Stadium. Charlotte Hornets games are always a blast. They play uptown at the Spectrum Center. Charlotte FC, Major League Soccer, has brought crazy energy to the city. We have a women's Major League Soccer team too, the Carolina Ascent. And the Carolina Ascent games are crazy affordable, a load of fun. You sit right on the field, in the action. And while you're here at the Carolina Ascent games, you've got to go get the fried Oreos. They're absolutely delicious. I think that's why my daughter really likes it. And this is the headquarters for NASCAR, with history and races galore. Many teams are headquartered here, just outside the city in the Concord, Kannapolis, and the Mooresville area. So if you are into motorsports, you will love it. There's a lot going on. I'm actually going to a monster truck event tonight with my daughter at one of the local dirt tracks. Saw the big trucks outside and asked to go. So of course, I'm going to take her. Beyond sports, you've got concerts at PNC Pavilion, Broadway shows at Blumenthal. Hamilton was actually just here in February, and weekend festivals happening just about all year long. Just do a Google search of Charlotte festivals each weekend and take your pick. Every weekend, there's at least 20 to 50 things going on around the city. So it's up to you to get out and explore. If you're bored, your fault. And so a lot of people ask, hey, who is Charlotte really for? I'm gonna tell you, it's tailor-made for family. It's amazing for young professionals. Retirees love it here. We rank in the top 5. Remote workers, everything you could want is here. And people who love sunshine, green space, and the big city growth with small town vibe. But if you hate driving, can't handle the humidity, or want major nightlife 7 nights a week, Charlotte might not be your perfect match. Still, if you're looking for balance, this city delivers. Charlotte really is an amazing city and checks most boxes for almost everyone. I beg you, reach out to me early in your process so we can get you a plan together and alleviate as much stress as possible. Again, thanks for watching another episode of the Carolina Salute. I look forward to hearing from you again. Call me, text me, email me. Let's schedule a Zoom so I can get you and your family all the information you need to have a smooth move to Charlotte. Until next time, guys, y'all have a good one.